Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's a Friday. Today is the 21st day of February, and it's National Caregivers Day, which is a really special thing, by the way. If you're a caregiver,
It really is.
Hats off to you.
Amazing.
That's a really cool thing. So, also, it is National Sticky Bun Day.
Ooh, I like sticky buns.
And it's Grain-Free Day.
All right.
Can I still have sticky buns? I also have a guest. I'm going to be visiting with American Cancer Society CEO Gary Reedy. We're going to talk about a new partnership between the American Cancer Society and the American Red Cross. It's called Give Blood to Give Time. We're going to chat all about that. If you want to know more now, you can go to their website. It's givebloodtogivetime.org. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. A survey by Michigan State University found that having an optimistic partner can help stave off dementia.
Oh.
Good news for you.
That is very good news for me.
I am very optimistic.
You are screwed.
I am in trouble. Yeah, optimistic partner. She's a glass half empty kind of girl. She's my wife.
I'm a realist.
I love her dearly.
I'm a realist.
All right. I've got a link to that story if you want to read all the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At BetterCreditCards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. Florida man facing charges after he's caught bare naked in somebody's bed.
Oh.
John Lyles broke into a Naples home on Wednesday morning. This is actually a few weeks back. Brandon Hall is the owner of the home. He was just getting something from his car. He said, I walked in the house and I hear voices, thinking, is the TV on or something? The sound was coming from Hall's bedroom. When he opened the door, he said, I found my stuff on the floor, and there was a naked guy sitting on my bed. He said, there's no other way to put it. He's bare naked.
He left his house long enough to get something from his car, and there was somebody in his bed?
I don't know. John Lyle, 38, was a stranger, broke in. He said he kept saying that he lived here. Next thing you know, he said that somebody else had sent him here. Don't really know anyone around here. Anyway, he called 911. When they got there, they found him. Had a PlayStation that he was trying to steal. Anyway, he admitted that, I was smoking crack and doing cocaine earlier. So,
Yikes.
So that's what was really
Lock
going
your doors.
on. Yeah. That's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Jim Carrey's new film, Sonic the Hedgehog, exceeded last weekend's opening expectations by about $2 million. Pulled in over $57 million Friday through Sunday. Downhill did the worst for the four new movies, debuting in 10th. That's a Will Ferrell, Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie. It will return to theaters this weekend. The dramedy tells the story of a couple who barely survive an avalanche and have to reevaluate their lives. Debuted in 10th place last week. And opening today, The Call of the Wild, rated PG, and Brahms, the Boy, 2, rated PG-13. I have no clue.
Does it say who's in The Call of the Wild?
No.
I remember reading that book in high school.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. You read.
I do.
That's awesome.
From time to time, when I'm told to.
I should do that once in a while.
It was a great book.
Was it? I don't know
it really was.
Maybe it's Keanu Reeves, but I doubt it. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A study reveals that witnessing people perform good deeds makes people more likely, in turn, to perform their own good deeds.
I would agree with that.
So if you see somebody do something nice, it makes you go, wow, I should
agree.
Probably do something nice.
I agree with that. I think that's I think that is absolutely accurate.
I think it is too. I like that. This is an interesting story. This almost became my news from somewhere in this world, but it's a longer story. I was like, I'm not going to do that there. We'll do it here. Worried that her dog might have swallowed her missing engagement ring. Oh, no. A South African woman brought her German short-haired pointer puppy to the animal hospital. There, her fears were confirmed. Pepper, the puppy dog, really did have her wedding ring, her engagement ring, in his belly. Veterans gave the dog some medicine to induce vomiting. The medicine took effect. Some stuff came up. Guess what was in there?
The ring.
A wedding ring. So they got it back. There's photos online. There's even like x-rays of a dog with a wedding ring inside of it. Mm-hmm. I've got a link to that. It's in the show notes. Christmas is quite a ways away. But the toy industry is already looking at the tea leaves. More than 7,000 toys and games and puzzle vendors will vie for attention at more than 17,000 buyers show up for the Toy Fair starting this weekend in New York. So I never really thought about that. But yeah, it takes a while to get all that stuff ready, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So this is where they're talking to the stores saying, oh, hey, you want one of these?
You want these.
Mm-hmm.
Make it the number one toy for the year.
Do you think it would be fun to be involved in that whole business?
No.
You don't want to have a John and Heidi show action figure?
No.
There wouldn't be a lot of action.
Not even a
We
little.
just kind of sit here. Hugh Hefner's son, Cooper, graduated from the Air Force Training Center
That's fantastic.
last week. That's pretty exciting.
That's fantastic.
And I bet a lot of other people did too. So congratulations to all of the other people who we don't have names for.
All heroes.
They're absolutely all just as important. 14 Americans who were evacuated from Japan by airplane that were stricken with the coronavirus are now home, but they're now being quarantined elsewhere. So, again, every time we mention that, I just don't like it.
Makes you nervous.
Yes, it does. A technical error at the Mayo Clinic. I'm going to pause right there and first of all say, you never want to hear those words.
No.
A technical error anywhere is bad, but technical error at the Mayo Clinic, really bad. But it could have been worse. Here's what the technical error was this time. A technical error caused the Mayo Clinic to accept 360 applicants, every single applicant for their prestigious medical school to become a, what would you call it? Like it just says applicants.
Like an intern?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, they only have room for 46, but they sent out an email to 360 people saying,
that's
congratulations,
disappointing.
you've been accepted.
Those poor people.
And then they got to say, upon further review, maybe you didn't. So,
that's too
yeah,
bad.
that would be really bad. It's going to do it for your scoop of the day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Student loan debt is out of control for many people. Are you one of them? The average graduate walks away with anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 in student loans. Believe it or not, 2% even manage to owe over $100,000 by the time they graduate. If you have several different student loans, let us consolidate them into one loan and one payment at singlestudentloan.com. If you have only one student loan, we may be able to offer you a better rate to help you get that loan paid off sooner at singlestudentloan.com. That's singlestudentloan.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Super excited to visit with Gary Reedy. He is the American Cancer Society CEO, and we're going to be talking about Give Blood to Give Time. Mr. Reedy, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. First of all, thank you for doing what you do. I know there's a lot of things that you can do with your life, and you've chosen to give yourself to a very great cause. A lot of people listening right now are impacted by cancer, so thank you for doing what you do at the American Cancer Society. You guys do a lot of great things, so I wanted to start with a big thank you.
Well, thank you, John. And I tell you what, everyone that works here, it's more of a purpose versus a job. I mean, we all are very committed and dedicated to trying to do something to help eradicate this disease and to relieve the pain and suffering that it causes.
And I love this new partnership that, I know you guys have worked together for a long time, but the American Red Cross now, you've got a partnership, this Give Blood to Give Time partnership. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I tell you, it's we're excited about it. You think about two iconic brands like the American Red Cross has been around for just about 140 years. The American Cancer Society will be 107 years in May of this year. So you have these two iconic organizations coming together to say, let's do everything we can to help cancer patients. And the fact of the matter is, John, is that 1 in 3 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. This year we're projecting about 1.8 million people, unfortunately, will get that diagnosis of you have cancer. When cancer patients a lot of times are undergoing their treatments, chemotherapy, radiation, they need blood. As a matter of fact, they currently use 25% of the nation's blood supply. Cancer patients use more of the blood supply than in any other disease. Unfortunately, there's only about 3% of people in the United States that donate blood. So we wanted to come together, the Red Cross and the American Cancer Society, to really raise awareness about the importance of donating blood, hopefully to increase donations, also to raise funds so that we can continue to help patients, but most importantly, to save lives. So we felt like if our two organizations could come together with a campaign like this, Give Blood to Give Time, that at the end of the day we'll be able to save more lives.
Absolutely. And this is such a simple thing for many people to do. And I know there are some situations where it's not a simple thing for people to donate blood, but for many people, it's literally just, if I remember to do it, and if I, schedule a time to do it, and then just follow through and do it. So I love the fact that you have a website set up where people can go and get the information they need to give blood. Now, how do I do that? Where do I go? What is that site?
That site is givebloodtogivetime.org.
It's time for America to roll up our sleeves and give blood. It's a really, really simple thing to do. And again, I'll give you the website again here towards the end. But let's talk about other ways people can get involved. If I can't give blood for whatever reason. I know, like, my wife has an iron deficiency, so she tried to donate blood, and they wouldn't take her blood. So if people get in a situation like that, are there other ways to help with the American Cancer Society and with the American Red Cross?
Absolutely. And once again, going to givebloodtogivetime.org, there's different ways that you can help. And there are a lot of people, like you said, your wife. Actually, my wife is not able to donate blood either. But either by making a contribution to either the Red Cross or the American Cancer Society, those funds can be used, to help cancer patients as well, as far as making sure that they have the services that they need. And here at the American Cancer Society, we have a 24/7, 365 hotline or toll-free number, 800-227-2345, that we're there, like I said, 24/7, 365, to talk with cancer patients, to talk with their caregivers, their families, to help direct them to resources. We also use those funds to provide free lodging and free transportation to patients who need to go back and forth, to get their treatments. So, that's a great example of how someone could help. It's, a lot of patients have trouble with transportation. Either they don't have the means, or, they're so exhausted from their treatments that they can't drive themselves. So, we provide free rides for patients who need to travel back and forth. So there's a lot of different ways that people can get involved, either with the Red Cross or with the American Cancer Society, to help people who are fighting this disease. And as you said at the onset, unfortunately, it's a disease that impacts everyone, either directly or indirectly. So anything that anyone can do to help out either the Red Cross or the American Cancer Society, we are deeply grateful.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us again, sir.
Well, thank you, John, and you have a great week.
You too. Again, American Cancer Society CEO Gary Reedy has been our guest. The website, once again, givebloodtogivetime.org. I'm going to throw a link to that in our show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Do you have a lucky shirt? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has several lucky shirts to wear next month for St. Patrick's Day. Or if it's a really lucky shirt, you can wear it every day. Green shirts, 4-leaf clovers, Irish sayings, and more. Don't wait. If you order your lucky shirt right now, it can be here in time to wear for St. Patrick's Day. Find t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The famed Typhoid Mary. You've heard of that?
I have.
Infected more than 50 people by cooking for them. Typhoid Mary was a real historical person who became notorious in the early 1900s. She was an Irish woman, Mary Mallon, who immigrated to the United States in the 1800s. She had no symptoms of typhoid fever. She carried the bacteria in her blood and could pass it on to other people. Because no doctor could convince her that this was true, and she didn't feel sick, she insisted on working as a cook. During her career, she infected at least 51 people. 3 of them died before she was finally isolated in enforced quarantine for the last decades of her life. That's too bad.
Oh, for the whole remainder of her life?
Well, because she had this issue where she could pass that on. So, yeah, that's not good.
So it's not something that could have been cured.
I have no idea.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird story, but it's today's fun fact.
Hey.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now some news headlines from somewhere in this world. It's actually just one news headline. Dateline India. A bride in India asked for volunteers from the audience after her groom got cold feet and stood her up at the last minute. A man stepped up, her parents approved, and the couple was married.
I think we talked about this one. I remember having this story. I remember talking about this.
This just happened.
No.
So it's
There's
probably
no way.
happened
It didn't
before.
happen.
Well, I'm sure there's more than one person's had this happen.
It was a long time ago.
Okay, well, now another one's happened.
Okay.
It just happened over the weekend.
Okay.
Don't you shake your fist at me. Hey, put down that knife.
I'm calling a big old BS, but whatever. I'll agree with you.
You don't need to hit me with a stick. This theater of the mind is fun. No, this just recently happened in India. It's a news headline from somewhere in this world.
It's a new year. Have you made a resolution to quit drinking or to finally get away from drugs for good? These are both habits that are hard to kick, but you can do it. We want to help you. TimeForRehab.com is here to help you find the help you need with your particular situation. If you want to make this year the year you get the help you need to live a normal life again, start with a little help from us at TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Texas man says that he ate dog food, only dog food, for a month to prove a point, and he said, I felt fantastic doing it. His name is Mitch Felderhoff.
Yuck.
He also goes by Spot. Now, he's the president of Munster Milling Company. He went 30 days eating only his company's dog food to prove that, hey, it's healthy, and it's healthy for pets.
Yuck.
He says, we're not going to feed your dog something unless we've eaten it first.
You know what? Good for him. That's awesome.
He stocked his family's pantry with the company's line of dog food, including elk patties, making sure his dog Roxy knew which bags of food belonged to him. Because he's like, hey, Roxy, we're sharing this month. He cooked his wife and his sons chicken and burgers or waffles or whatever they wanted, but then he sat at the table and ate dog food.
Yuck.
One of his sons did take a little nibble of dog food, then a bigger bite. He said the first week was difficult. He said, I became accustomed to the new diet
sure.
by the third week. He was not available for comment. He was chasing a fire truck. he was not really. This has been today's Weird News.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by SingleStudentLoan.com. A New York City subway passenger came up with an interesting way to maintain his personal space. In a tweet Friday, they shared a photo of an MTA subway car with ketchup all over the floor. A strap hanger in the morning A train pulled a bottle of ketchup from his bag, squirted a perimeter around himself to keep people away. In the photo, you see a woman sitting beside an empty seat where the culprit sat before, apparently fleeing from the messy scene. Minutes later, the official Twitter account for New York City Transit caught wind of the tweet, responded, "Good morning. Do you have a 4-digit train car number for the ketchup?" They wanted to go clean it up. "Thanks for letting us know. We'll ask our maintenance team to clean this up ASAP." A person used a bizarre moment to take time to use the city's subway as a little punching bag. They made fun of the mayor for some reason on this as well. So I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. I'm kind of stumbling through this because I don't know what I'm talking about. Thanks for listening. It's Twitter, and there's all these little @ symbols, and I have no idea. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
When was the last time you got a new credit card? If you have a card that's been in your purse or wallet for a long time, you should check and see if you're getting the best rates. You may find a better credit card that will give you the points you want or cashback options you don't get right now. At bettercreditcards.com, you see all the major credit card companies and their best offers. Let them compete to earn your business. And if the one you have right now is better, keep it. Find a card that's a better fit for you at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, fake news or Florida? At this point in the program, I read a little story, and my beautiful bride Heidi has to tell me, is this a true story
Alrighty.
from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up just to trick you and amuse me? Ready?
Okay, I am.
Here we go.
Ready.
Fake news or Florida? Police say a registered sex offender ran from Pensacola officers and scaled a radio tower in Florida. Fake news or Florida?
I'm going to say fake news.
Boy, I'm glad I read this when I did. It's already popping up all over the internet. It is a true story. And there's a fun photo that went with it that I do have shared in our show notes. You can click the link to it. The guy scaled the tower and just hung out up on the tower. Dude, what did you think was going to happen?
They're going to catch you.
Yeah, they're going to go, okay, well,
You're at the top.
he climbed the tower, and he said,
I
Ollie,
guess we
Ollie,
better go
Oxenfree.
home.
So, is that thing? Ollie, Ollie, Oxenfree? What's that from? That's a game, isn't it? What does that even mean?
I believe it was from a game. I don't know.
Anyway, I don't. If that was, I have no clue. I have no idea. It's from a game, probably the wrong game. Thanks for listening to Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Oh boy, where do I even start? How about this? Because this is a pretty cool story. A freshman saves his friend's life by using the Heimlich maneuver. How cool is that?
I love the Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah,
I have
you've
done
done
it
that.
several times. Yes, I have. 3 times.
High school student in Wisconsin was sitting with his friends, and he started choking, and his friend saved his life thanks to the Heimlich maneuver. Surveillance footage shows freshman Ian Brown leaping into action when classmate Will Olson began to choke. Other students thought Olson was joking. Brown said he noticed a color change in his neck, and he leaped into action. Brown administered the Heimlich maneuver until the food that was stuck in the throat became dislodged. According to the police department there, they said Brown had been trained as part of the agency's Police Explorer program, which introduces young adults interested in a career in law enforcement to the basics of policing, which happen to include first aid training. Officer Kurt Weaver says that he was proud to see him in action. He said he appeared very calm and said, okay, this is the situation. This is what I have to do. And then, just like we trained them, it was neat to see him with the training carry it out in real life and help this kid. So it's really a cool story. I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Friday.